Hello guys, welcome to HW Sports 90, and on this video we are going to analyze Manchester United. We are going to talk about United and their manager Erik ten Hag. They've been having I can say a shambolic season, an unwanted season, and not the season many United fans were hoping it could be. So they've been below average. Can rate them as a D. D plus, or if not D minor. So I think we'll start to talk about United's form, their games, their stats, and their relation, that is a manager relation with his players, and how he manages the game. So United, in their last 10 games in all competitions, they have managed to win 4 times, they've drawn 3 times, and they've lost 3 times. They won against Luton in the Premier League. Then they lost against Fulham in the Premier League. They won against Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup and lost against Manchester City in the Premier League. They won against Everton in the Premier League, won against Liverpool in the FA Cup, and drew against Brentford, the Premier League, lost against Chelsea in the Premier League, drew against Liverpool in the Premier League. Also, they drew against FC Bournemouth in Premier League. Some of these games, if you watch these games, I think half of them they were supposed to win. They were supposed to win. Let's start with the game against Fulham. I think they were to get a draw in this match if they were composed enough. Yeah, they were supposed to at least get a draw in that game, because Alex Iwobi scored in the last minute. That is the added time of the game. With this has been a problem for United this season. They're always conceding goals late in the game. So I think if they were composed enough, I think a draw could have been a better result, and they let themselves down and they lost the game against Fulham. So also the game against Brentford, they were supposed to win it. They scored the goal at the late minute, that is 90+6, through Mason Mount, who scored his first United goal. But United, being United, they managed to let themselves down and dropped 2 points as Brentford equalized in the last minute of the game to make it 1-1. So that is a total of 4 points. They've dropped a lot of 4 points in 2 games where they could have, not even 4, because against Brentford they were supposed to win it. That's a total of 3 points. So they've dropped 2 points. Against Fulham they dropped a point. They were supposed to draw. So yeah, 4 points dropped in 2 games. The game against Chelsea, they were winning it. Yeah, against Chelsea they were winning it 3-2, and United happened, and they lost the game 4-3, conceding 2 goals in 2 minutes, conceding a penalty, and being caught off guard by Cole Palmer in that position. As I saw the video where United players were pointing at each other, and no one of them ran and marked Cole Palmer. And indeed, it was Cole Palmer who struck that ball and hit McTominay, and it went on and scored, which made it 4-3. From a winning position against Chelsea, they conceded 2 goals in 2 minutes and ended up losing the game, dropping 3 points where they could have gotten the 3 points instead. So we've seen they're dropping points on a winning position, drop points against Fulham, drop points against Brentford, drop points against Chelsea, and also against Liverpool they dropped points. I know they were below their performance against Liverpool were below average. In the first half they had 0 shots. But in the second half they turned up, scored 2 goals, and made it make it 2-1 in their favor. But the late penalty, which I think it was a controversial call by the VAR and by the referee, and yet again United let themselves down, and they lost, or rather they drawn from a winning position. So against Chelsea, against Liverpool again, they dropped points from a winning position. I think that should not be happening as far as Manchester United are concerned. That is just ridiculous. The stats are just unwanted. And also, against Bournemouth, I was expecting them to carry that second half performance against Chelsea, against Liverpool, when they are facing Bournemouth away at the Vitality Stadium. But that wasn't the case. Bournemouth were killing it and they were bossing it in that game as they were threatening with their attacks. Solanke, Kluivert, and Michael Senesi, who had 2 assists. They were brilliant, Bournemouth, and I think they deserved to win the game. I think they're disappointed for not winning the game. For United, I think they'll be happy with the 1 point, because their performance was shambolic and just, I don't know, clueless, no tactics at all. So in the Premier League, in the last 7 games, United have managed to collect only 6 points from possible 21. So they've dropped a total of 15 points. They've only managed to collect 6 points. In those 7 games, they've won only once. That was against Everton, and managed 3 draws against Bournemouth, Liverpool, and Brentford. They've lost 3 times, against Fulham, against City, and against Chelsea. Just ridiculous. These stats are just, sickening, and it's worrying. It's a worrying state for United fans at the moment. As United, they've dropped 15 points. I think, to be fair enough, in these 7 games, I think the least points they could have gotten, I think, 16 points out of the possible 21. The game against Liverpool and again the game against Chelsea, against Liverpool, against City, or rather, are justified. The loss against City are justified, and the draw against Liverpool, I think, they justify. So those are the only 2 games they could have, or they were supposed to drop points at. That's a total of 5 points. They could have gotten 16 points after 21 points, but United, being United, they managed only 6 points. That is winning once and getting 3 draws. Shambolic, sickening, unwanted record. So season overall, they've dropped from 6th position to 7th position, and now they're finding themselves in a harder place as they are looking to qualify to play in the Europe next season. It's now going to be a difficult run for United, and they are now under pressure to at least make it to Europa League next season, because Champions League, I think, it's gone. When I say it's gone, I mean they are 10 points behind at the 4th place and the 5th place, Aston Villa and Spurs. Spurs are 5th. I think they are 4th with 60 points. Aston Villa are 5th with 60 points. United are 7th with 50 points. That's the gap is 10 points between United and Spurs. And now they've dropped to 7th position. 6th have been taken by Newcastle, who won comfortably at home 4-0 against Spurs, and they are level of points with Manchester United. But United are 7th due to goal difference. They've had a -1 goal difference in the Premier League. I think it's the worst ever in the top. I think in their season, this current stage of the league, they're having a negative goal difference. I think the worst in I don't know how many years. So the games they've played 32 games. Yeah, they've played 32 games. They've won 15 times. They've lost 12 times and managed to get 5 draws. So this is just ridiculous when for United fans. Winning 12 games out of 32, winning 15 games rather out of 32 is just an unwanted record. They've scored 47 goals. Yeah, United have scored 47 goals and they have conceded 48 goals. That's why it's a -1 goal difference. And United, apart from Sheffield United, Manchester United have faced the most shots towards their goal in the Premier League. Only Sheffield United have had more. And in the game against Bournemouth that they played yesterday, the Bournemouth had a total of 20 shots, which 5 were on target. So United with shots, I think, like twins. They are conceding a lot of shots. Yesterday they conceded 20 shots, and Onana to the rescue once again. Remember, he made an important block to deny Justin Kluivert the second goal and the third goal for Bournemouth. I think that was a game-changing block for and Onana. I think he deserved praise for his recent performance and bailing United game in game out. I think it's been brilliant. So the top scorers for Manchester United this season have been is Bruno Fernandes, who has scored 8 goals. Remember, he scored his 4th goal in 3 games. Yesterday he scored 2 goals. He scored against Liverpool and also scored against Chelsea. So that is 4 goals in 3 games. I think it's back on form. And now he is the leading top scorer for Manchester United with 8 goals and 6 assists. Garnacho 7 goals and 3 assists, and Rasmus Højlund also has 7 goals. So this tells you how United their season are this season. Remember, their top scorer is Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes is having the worst season in his career since coming to Manchester United. Yeah, and remember him in his worst career in worst season as a leading top scorer for Manchester United. This tells you a lot about United. This tells you a lot about United players as well, and the disappointment in United fans is well seen by how they react in social media, how they talk, and they want Erik Ten Hag out. The reason we are going to discuss here, why they want manager Erik Ten Hag out next season. When Ten Hag arrived at United, many thought that he could be the one to get United back the top where they belong, but that is not the case. But last season he won his first trophy as United manager in his first season. I remember the Carabao Cup winner against Newcastle at Wembley. So I thought United could be back, maybe challenging the title this season, because last season they were good. Yeah, they were average, and they managed to get their first trophy in his first season. But he had some problems with the players, and Ronaldo was gone, and also David De Gea was gone. Yeah, so I think the relationship between him and Ronaldo and De Gea was not good enough, and hence the two great players had to leave United, and Ronaldo went to Al Nassr, and David De Gea is still a free agent at the moment. United decided to let De Gea go on a free and bring on Andre Onana and Altibandir from Inter Milan and I think Fenerbahce, respectively. So this season, United, they started the season poorly, and I think they've been poor throughout the season. Last season they started poorly, but they catch up after some 3 to 4 games. But this season they've been poor from the start until now. They're still poor, and nothing is improving in terms of tactics, the gameplay, and everything. Nothing is improving. The same mistake you watch today, the same mistake you'll watch tomorrow, and nothing at all is improving. This makes you wonder if the manager Ten Hag is the right man to lead United at the top again. Remember the game against Arsenal at the Emirates, where United lost the game. I think they lost 3-1, and Ten Hag was asked about Sancho, why Sancho was not in the starting 11 and why he was not even on the bench, being that he wasn't injured and he was fit. And Ten Hag said it's all to do about the player's attitude and how he performs and in training. So Sancho was never silent. He didn't keep quiet, and he went straight to show his reaction in Twitter, and that gotten into Ten Hag's head, and he was exiled in United squad, and that leads to him going back to Borussia Dortmund on loan from Manchester United. So we saw 3 players getting out of United because of the fallen relationship between them and the manager. We saw Ronaldo, David De Gea, and also now Sancho. But again, will we see another player going out of Manchester United, or will we see a player being the reason that managers being sacked at United once again. And this time around is Alejandro Garnacho. Remember his performance against Bournemouth in the first half. I think he was poor in the first half, and I don't blame him, because all United players were pathetic. Yeah, they were shambolic in the first half. I can name them. Alejandro Garnacho was not having a good game. Diego Dalot as well. Marcus Rashford, Casemiro, Rasmus Højlund. Name them all. So I think it was wrong for Ten Hag to single-handedly sideline or singled out Alejandro Garnacho for the loss of the draw against Bournemouth. That was uncalled for, and it is not looking good for United at the moment. So Alejandro Garnacho was substituted in the first half and replaced by Amad Diallo. And according to Ten Hag, said Alejandro Garnacho is still young. Yeah, still young, and we don't expect them to be playing pretty good game in, game out. And I think they need to understand that, the players. And I think that comment didn't go well with most of United fans, and didn't go well with Alejandro Garnacho. I think it was a bit unfair for Garnacho, because for me, I thought Marcus Rashford was going to be the first one to be hooked out, and also Casemiro. But I think Ten Hag always watches the game in a different perspective. I think his angle of watching the game is also different from all the others, and I think he spent most of his time talking with his assistant managers and not concentrating on the game. So he doesn't watch the game at all. I think Alejandro Garnacho deserved to be left in the pitch in the second half, because he always provides that intensity. He can cause anything, like he did against Aston Villa in the second half at Old Trafford. And leaving Rashford on the pitch and removing Alejandro Garnacho, and then blaming the 19-year-old for the draw against Bournemouth is ridiculous. And Erik Ten Hag, I think he needs to realize that he should not talk bad against his players publicly like that. And I think his time may be out, because the new board are watching, and these things like this can't repeat themselves again. I think he's worried. Ten Hag is worried at the moment, and the beef between him and Garnacho should not go further, because if it goes further, I think this time around it's going to be him being hooked and not Alejandro Garnacho. So Alejandro Garnacho also reacted, but unlike Sancho, he did not make any comment or a statement, but he liked a statement by the United fans, that is McGoldbridge, who slammed Erik Ten Hag for blaming the 19-year-old, who I think has have a quite good season. 7 goals and 3 assists in the Premier League. It's quite good for a 19-year-old who is still learning and improving game in, game out. So blaming a 19-year-old for the draw against Bournemouth is quite ridiculous, because all the players, they played poorly and they were pathetic to watch. So he liked that message, that statement by McGoldbridge on Twitter, on X, and also made a post on his story on Instagram. I think he's sending a message, and to his favor, I think United fans are all behind him, and this is why I'm saying that Erik Ten Hag may start to lose the trust and the belief he had with United fans, because beefing with your own players is quite ridiculous. I think that's uncalled for, and for beefing with a 19-year-old is ridiculous as well. So Ten Hag needs to learn and realize that he is the manager of Manchester United, and he should manage players and have a good relation with the players if he is to perform. I think now we can see the reason as to why United are underperforming this season. The relationship between the players and the manager, I think it's rotten. This is why the players are playing as if they are being forced to. So Ten Hag, I don't think Ten Hag will be a Manchester United manager next season. The chances are slimmer, and they're getting slimmer game in, game out. The next game is against Coventry in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley.